Hello and welcome to Paul's Racing Channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by upshiftstore.co.uk, Hambridge Transport Limited, and in association with digitalmotorsports.com. So I welcome you to this round 4 of our BTCC Replica Championship, and we stay in Japan. We're about 180 miles northeast of Suzuka in the capital city of Tokyo this time. This is the first street circuit we've visited this series. So sets up intense close action racing, that's for sure. That I can guarantee. So, there's no runoffs, just concrete walls either side. So drivers need to be really careful not to touch those too hard, otherwise it could be game over. Not only for him or them, but possibly more. We're on the central loop layout, which again looks simple in its layout, but throw in the walls and the tightness of the road itself and it's more difficult than it actually seems. I mean, they're great tracks. This is going to be a little bit like Slipstream City around here once the cars get going, or once the drivers get going. But as you can see, beautiful day. So let's just quickly run through the top 5 in the championship at the moment. So Thomas is at the top in first on 176. This is after the last round at Suzuka, obviously. We've got James Stevens in second, 161, so not a lot in that there. Grasshopper in third on 110, so a little way back. Molson in fourth on 104, and then Kev in fifth on 89. So there's your top 5 going into this one. So sit back, relax, enjoy what you're about to see. This is race 1 of our 3. We have got 3 this week, thankfully. So let's take you through that grid. So we've got Thomas in pole position, Grasshopper second, Broady in third, or C Broad even, sorry. James Stevens in fourth, Molson fifth, Serial Car Killer sixth, Kevin in seventh, Benzo eighth, Gingerbread in ninth, Potsy in 10th. So 10 cars there. Let's get this going. Let's see how this goes. Everyone gets off, I think. Who's at the background? Looks like Potsy got on to a slightly slower start than everybody. Don't know if he missed a gear there, but away they go. Clockwise circuit again. As you can see by the map in the top right hand corner. As I said, really simple layout. Pretty similar to the Goodwood sort of layout, the way it looks, but probably more difficult the fact that you're enclosed within the walls and the barriers of the Tokyo streets. So Thomas then still in the lead, but we've got C Broad up the second and closing in behind Thomas. Look at this, he's going to go for the lead. This is Slipstream City at his best. Grasshopper just behind them with James in fourth, Molson fifth, Serial in sixth, and Broady does take, C Broad does take that lead. Slightly to the wall, but he's got through in that WRX. Now, can he stay there? Grasshopper's sniffing around just behind them in third as well. These 3 have pulled away, and got to be a bit careful around there. Touch of the wall from Thomas. He hit that harder than what I thought, and the second one, so he's hit that wall twice. That's giving Broady, C Broad, a chance to get away, but we know how quick that Alpha is, and there's evidence of it. Grasshopper there in third, sticking with them. James Stephen behind them 3, catching them up. Close behind, and then Molson and Kev also in 6th. So there's the top 6. So it's all going to be really close racing, all these 3 tonight. So it just gives you a little bit of a glimpse into what the racing's going to be like. And exactly what I mean by slightest touch, and it's going to really put you back. And it's closed up now. Look at this, James, Molson all on the back of these front 3 of Grasshopper, Thomas and C Broad. C Broad really getting away with a nice little gap at the front there now, so let's see what he can do. James and Molson. A touch of the barrier from James is going to slow him up a bit. Molson's going to be right up, and Molson's had a bit of a touch as well on the left. So really pushing it, all these guys, and also scraping the walls. Not doing the sides of the cars much good. Kev is at the back there. And we're only 3 minutes in, and already, what a hectic start this was. Get back to Potsy, who, considering the start he had, I think it was Potsy anyway, forgive me if it wasn't, but whoa, and he's hit the barrier along with Serial Car Killer, and these two are battling it out in 7th and 8th. But if it was Potsy that had that bad start, he's up to 7th, which is good for him. Made up them spaces. Benzo right up behind Serial as well. It's amazing how close these cars are. If you think this is pretty much the entire field, all very close. Gingerbread is obviously at the moment, because he's a long way back. Haven't seen much of him, have we, in these first few minutes, but I don't think he's had the best start to the evening. So see Broado back at the front, and it's closed back in again, so his gap that he had, that's deteriorated. And look at this, got about 6 cars here now, going all the way back to Kev, all battling for the lead. And we're only 4 minutes in, so another 10 minutes of this. Whoopie-doo, this should be real fun. Look at this now between Thomas and Grasshopper. Grasshopper having a sniff, trying to hop his way past Thomas, but can't get past him. Very difficult place to pass as well because of the tightness of it. Really just getting to the slip now. This has been the opportunity, but not that many corners that you can actually make a clean pass. All you're really relying on or hoping for is someone making a mistake and hitting the walls so you can go by. But at the moment, everyone's still hanging in there. The Grasshopper really putting the pressure on to Thomas. He wants to get past him, and he keeps having a look, but there's just nowhere they can get past the Alpha. And they're keeping it clean at the moment through there. Oh, see Broad with a slide round, drifting it. This is Tokyo Drift, isn't it? Look at that. But that would have slowed him down, obviously. And Thomas is now going to have a look at him. I can't take my eyes off this front group at the moment, because it's just fast-paced action. Oh, Grasshopper still having a look as he got it. Maybe he might have had it stick here now. He did. He got past, so move there by Grasshopper, gets himself up into 2nd place. Now he's going to chase down the leader, Seabroad. Oh, and he's gone wide. Seabroad has the opportunity for Grasshopper, who's done it. He's got through, but Thomas is going to follow him through as well, and he's gone past them all. Thomas, what a move that was. On the inside is going to be now this next right-hander, and oh, Grasshopper, he clips the wall. And then Seabroad goes past him as well. So Grasshopper back to 3rd again, but Thomas made that move, followed Grasshopper through, and with the pace of the Alpha, he got past them both in one swoop. So Thomas it is, Seabroad 2nd, Grasshopper 3rd. Let's just go through this field. Molson 4th, still up there. James in 5th, Kevin 6th. And we've got Serial up into 7th now, Benzo 8th. And they both got past Potsy, who's dropped back down to 9th. And then we know Gingerbread's at the back there. And if he's not careful, the way he's going, he might be lapped around here, but not having the best one, is he? Well, look at this from Thomas. He's pulled out a gap now, probably the biggest gap that we've seen in this race, halfway through now. Already halfway through, unbelievable, but this has got to be the biggest gap that anybody's had since the start of this race. But we've got these two still battling out for 2nd and 3rd. It doesn't take a lot, and these could soon be back on the tail of Thomas. If they could push each other along cleanly, they could get back onto him, not a problem at all. And actually, looks like they have just pulled in a little bit of a gap on him, so we could be down to that 3-car battle again, but it's between these 3, isn't it now? The others have just dropped off, James and Molson, who's got their little battle of their own there in 4th and 5th. So they come through the tunnel. Oh, James with a big hit in there on your Ferrari, and I think Molson did as well, and Kev's on the back of him now as well, so Kev's going to be sniffing around the back of Molson. It's not the place you want to be, you don't want to be sniffing around the back of Molson, but hey, in terms of racing, that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, unbelievable speed around this track. It's flat all the way pretty much. A couple of corners really where you don't really even need a brake. It's just a case of lifting. There may be 1, possibly 2 corners where you little dab of brakes as Kev goes up the inside of Molson to get up into the 5th place as he made it stick. Well, Molson's certainly not going to give it to him, but he's on the outside now. Molson coming down into the right-hander, into the tunnel, and it's all closed up again. Oh, Kev's sliding it round, and Molson's not giving it to him, and why should he? And he didn't, and Molson's still in 5th, Kev in 6th. That was a bit wild round there, that was short. But we've still got Grasshopper in 3rd, with Seabroad in 2nd, Thomas in 1st. So that's, well, it's all kind of spread out a little bit now at the front, which quite surprised to see. If anything, James is catching up with Grasshopper, and he's bringing Molson and Kev along with him. Yeah, visibly closer there, but a little battle here for 4th and 5th still between James and Molson. It's all about getting into a rhythm round here, and if you can get yourself into a nice rhythm, it's actually a really, really good track. As soon as you start hitting walls and barriers, then as Molson goes up past James to get into 4th, he's going to make that one stick, hasn't he? He's gone wide. Oh, James tried to cut back, but he's hit the wall, and that's allowing Kev to go through, and he does. Or does he? Well, he did for about a second. James has got it back. So Kev trying his best, but he just remains in 6th, but he's doing all he can. But at the moment, it's not happening, is it? But 10 minutes in now, so 2/3 of the way through. So Serial back down in 7th. Let's just go through these other cars and drivers. So there he is. Oh, and who's that? That's James. He's gone in the pits. He's had a disaster. Well, he didn't go in the pits. I don't think he intentionally went into the pits, but something happened. He's hit the wall of the pits entrance, and Serial said, "Thanks very much. I will take that 6th place off you, mate." And that's exactly what he done. James back to 7th. So bit of a mistake there from James, and Ferrari's maybe not the best car around here, with Gingerbread still at the back in his Ferrari struggling. The Benzo in 8th. Don't know if there was a touch there that made James go where he was, or whether it was his own mistake. I'll have to go to the stewards for an investigation. I think it's okay though. Potsy in 9th. So after good start, it's just dropped back a bit. Ginger Bread is still in 10th place. Thomas there in 1st. Let's go back to our leader. Massive lead. Heading for another victory surely for Thomas. He's obviously got himself into a nice rhythm, because he's got a lovely gap now back to Grasshopper, who's into 2nd now. So Seabroad must have had a mistake somewhere. Grasshopper's capitalised and got through. Oh, as he slides it round. Seabroad back to 3rd. He's going to be going with Grasshopper, with Molson up to 4th now as well. So it's all a little bit of change here, courtesy of that James incident. So Molson 4th. Not that far off the back of Seabroad. Can he get there with a few minutes left? Well, he will if Broady or Seabroad makes a mistake like that, keeps drifting and hitting the walls. That's going to be an invitation to Molson, and he'll take it. Invite or not. So Seabroad then third, Grasshopper second, and I think this could be the finishing positions with 2 minutes left. If there's going to be a change, it's going to be here between Seabroad and Molson. I fancy as he slides it again, and he's pushing really, really hard as Seabroad, but he's not doing him any favours. If Molson can keep it clean, he's going to be on him and he's going to pass him. So let's just stick with this for a few seconds and see what happens, because Molson is closer. Oh, and he's just hit the wall there, and it's too bad a touch, but Will Seabroad, James is in the pits, so he's obviously had some damage to the car after that big hit. So can Seabroad keep Molson behind him? Molson's right up now, coming into this final minute, and it's the last thing you want to do is see someone in your slip, and as close as that. And is Molson going to attack? No, he doesn't, but he's got another lap to do something about him. They'll get one more in. He says confidently they should get one more in. Yeah, no, that'd be fine. And he does make it so Molson gets through on Seabroad. I missed that as I was talking. So Molson through to third. Seabroad, he couldn't keep him behind him, and it was inevitable really in the end that he gets it done. Seabroad's not giving up, is he either? Look at this. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go through. Let's go back to our leader and see Benzo's finished. So he didn't get through, so Benzo is in 7th, sorry. Potsy did finish, or will finish, in 8th. I reckon it must have been James all the way back down there. Well, he was in the pits actually, wasn't he? So we'll see anyway. Here comes Thomas coming round these final sector now to take victory. Gets the fastest lap as well, 1:17.8. And it's going to be race 1 winner for Thomas. That flew by, didn't it, that race? Just another 2 of them to go. I'll catch a breath before we start. Well done, Thomas. Wins that. Grasshopper, he's going to get that 2nd place. So well done to him. Molson fought to the end and got that 3rd place, so he's on the podium. Well done to Molson. Seabroad, unfortunate in the end, but 4th, that's still a good finish for him. Kev will get 5th, closely followed by Serial in 6th. Then we've got Benzo 7th, Potsy 8th, James in 9th, and Ginger Bread in 10th. So there's your race 1. Hope you enjoyed that. Catch me again in a minute for races 2 and 3, and hope to see you there.